Hey everybody, welcome to Batch TV. Ryan just did the best call on Agent Outreach Live. I'm so excited for him to break it down. Check this out.
If you're a realtor watching this and you don't answer your phone, I'm going to karate chop you.
Oh my gosh.
Keep going. Got Linda.
This is Linda. How can I help you?
Hey, Linda. My name's Ryan. I'm trying to find an agent out in the Dallas area. I'm not sure if you're licensed or not.
I am. How can I help you?
Awesome. I'm trying to find a property that I can go in and fix and flip. I'm sure you could tell from my area code. I'm in Arizona. We've expanded out to local markets that are kind of around us, and Texas was one of them in the DFW area. So I'm just trying to see if I can find a realtor that could help us out with some representation and also with finding some opportunities to flip.
I mean, I currently have none of those listings, but I don't have any problem just absorbing you as part of my buyer group of people that may be interested in looking.
Yeah, I would love that. I'm not even opposed, honestly, if you help me find opportunities that are on the MLS currently. In a perfect world, obviously off market's always preferred, but I understand the current market, and a lot of times sellers just want to put the property up on the MLS.
Yeah, I'll be more than happy to work with you if that's the case. What I need from you are just some parameters, because you just never know
For sure.
What comes up. So one of my clients does REOs, and I never know when those are going to pop up.
Yep.
I literally just put one under contract today. So I don't know how big of a project you're looking for, if you're somebody who's in that market that wants to do what I call the $300,000 houses, or are you looking to go as high as $1 million? I don't know what your parameters are, because the MLS in Dallas is a big place. So
Yep.
I'm here to work with you for whatever parameters you're looking to do. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Just a little bit of background. We have fixed and flipped properties out in Arizona, got some rentals. The market obviously just got crazy. I'm sure like it did in Texas too. So we've been looking into some other markets where we have just cheaper labor, we've got better opportunities, and some cheaper priced houses. So we are kind of in that $1 million range and under, but my sweet spot would probably be 600K and under. As for like extent of remodel, we're not really looking for like any tear down, fire damage, add on, anything like that. More of just cosmetic, like carpet, paint, cabinets. I don't mind taking down a wall as long as it's not like low bearing or structural. But
Right.
anything,
So basically it's you don't want to do the majors. You don't want to have to deal with foundations and
Bingo.
roofs and all that. You just want to do interior remodels. Is that correct?
You hit it right on the head.
Okay, I got you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, not to like kind of like push the urgency or anything like that, but we're in a pickle right now where I kind of need to offset some money for taxes based on like what we just went through with Q3. Or going into Q3, I should say. We're trying to buy something in the next like 30 days. I'm not sure how fast it is that you think it's realistic for us to be able to find something like that. But what would you recommend?
Well, okay, so my specialty, just so you know, is I do Dallas core. I do not do Fort Worth. I don't do a lot of these outlying areas.
Sure.
So if you find an agent that wants to work with you out in Fort Worth, please do so. It's 45 minutes for me that way.
Gotcha.
But I do a ton in East Dallas, some funny little pocket neighborhoods around. Sometimes the land is worth more than the house, and I have to pay attention to those things for you. But I'll be more than happy to kind of see what's out there. It's all about the ARV on it, and I get that. So let me go ahead and do this. So I'd love to get an email from you, just so because if I find things, even if it's on MLS or things are coming soon or whatever, it gives me a chance to just email you faster.
What's her name?
Than it is for me.
Who am I talking to?
That's Sandra.
I think it is Linda.
Does that make sense?
Makes complete sense to me, and I really actually appreciate and respect the fact that you understand it comes down to the numbers. Part of what I've been struggling with is like, we actually, just to be fully transparent, I've been calling a few other realtors. One, nobody's answered their phone. You're the first person that answered. But then two, it's like the realtor's always just worrying about like, okay, well, it's a quick commission. And don't get me wrong, I'm never going to try to be the guy that takes away the commission. I think that's the most important piece for you guys. But at the end of the day,
it's how we make our living.
Exactly. And as long as it's a win-win for everybody, I'm more than happy to create a situation where in Arizona, just to put it in perspective, we had a realtor that we did over 45 transactions with in a 12-month span just by going and buying properties together. They would get high commission on some deals, low commission on the other, but we were able to create a partnership and a win-win scenario that led to a lot of deals down the road for everybody. So that's kind of what we're trying to create here in Dallas. And I think that we might have just found that missing piece with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. One of my biggest clients is Wedgwood, based out of California.
Yep.
And I do I probably do 15 or 20 houses with them a year.
Wow.
So I understand, but I am normally on the listing side.
Okay.
So that's my next question for you. So just suppose I find you a house.
She's going to ask about listing it, and this is how you avoid it.
I'm also going to have the listing piece of that as well.
For sure. So I do have one other partner in our operation that I always, again, just kind of lead with transparency. So I will always make the case. We have another partner on our team that I'm pretty sure I'd have to check with him. It's either his spouse or cousin or someone is licensed. So a lot of times they kind of just do like a flat fee, if anything, but I don't want to obviously just overpromise or just say no. I would have to talk to him and get basically confirmation on that. But let me confirm it. But what I would do is I'd always make a case. And then on top of that, we come across a lot of opportunities where I can't be the buyer, but I have a couple friends that will. So maybe every now and then we end up doing a joint venture kind of like transaction with them. And I know that they're usually looking for realtors that can help them list the properties too. So I can always make that case.
You know what? I love my investors. I've done a lot of business with them.
Yep.
So, I love the idea of a partnership working for us. And, you happen to catch me at a good time because I do primarily listings. And so always having a couple of new buyers in my pocket is never a bad day.
I love it. Well, if there's anything you need from me, my goal is to obviously lead with value, but I want to be the easiest client you've ever worked with. So I could put up non-refundable earnest money. I typically just need like a shortened inspection period of like a day or two at most. But I don't mind doing whatever it takes to get the deal, especially if we're in the position that we're trying to buy in the next 30 days. So if there's anything that you come across, or if you wanted to look on the MLS and see if there was something to fit like that 600K and under cosmetic, I am all game and I could pay cash and I'll close as fast as we need to.
I appreciate that so much.
Awesome.
So if you don't mind just texting me your email, so you have my email in front of you?
I'd have to double check, but I can always text you too at this number. And then if you just want to text it over to me, that way I can make sure it's 100% accurate.
That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Awesome.
That'd be great.
Thanks, Linda. I really appreciate your time.
You know what? I hate agents that don't pick up the phone. It makes my life more difficult too. So I'm glad I was able to do this for you today.
Retweet. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye now.
There you go.
Oh, man.
All right.
Beautiful. So Ryan, I loved that call. It was great to see you break that down with her and have such an awesome conversation. What stood out and can you just break that down for everybody?
For sure. So I think the first thing to address was that she answered the phone. Obviously, if you watched that live, there were a lot of people that just weren't answering. So for us to have a realtor that answers the phone, first is a realtor that is going to be more likely to go and get the deals done with us. Second was that the first thing she had mentioned was that she primarily works with listings. So I love the fact that she is already working with sellers. She's down in the trenches. To name off a few other things, she said she works REOs. She said she has a whole database and pool that she'd love to put me in for like other clients that she has, other investors. It would just be good for opportunities for possibly even a JV. And then on top of that too, she mentioned ARV. Realtors do not mention ARV. So what does that mean? She understands after repair value. She understands that it's all about the numbers. There's no emotion tied to the deal. We even had kind of a moment where we had like a relatability where we're like, hey, realtors don't answer the phone. She's like, oh, tell me about it. I hate that. So I think it's super cool when you find a unicorn agent like Linda. Now, the most important thing that I did was set the expectation. I need a deal in 45 days or less. Are you the girl that could help me? Yes or no? So I think she did really well. She did challenge me a little bit. She asked about the listings. She's like, so when it's done, can I possibly be the person that helps you list them? And that's a great question for a realtor. Obviously, she did what she was supposed to, which is asking for the business. Too often, doesn't matter if you're an investor or a realtor, it's scary asking for the business. So for her to ask it, well, if I wholesale a deal, I obviously can't guarantee the listing. So what I did was say, look, there's other partners involved. Sometimes they have people in their family or in their team that are licensed that I can't guarantee that we're going to get you every listing. But with that said, there's multiple opportunities that come across my table. And what I can do is I could put in a good word for Linda being the best realtor out there. So she was a great agent. We moved her right to our tier 3, which is how we categorize agents and agent investors. But she is one that I'd be following up with until we get a deal. I think she's going to be a great one.
There you have it, guys. If you want to see more calls like this and Ryan crush it with real estate agents, check out every single Tuesday. We go live at 1 p.m. Arizona time. And you can see more calls broken down like this, share your wins. And to get even more value, check out the description below where you can connect with Ryan in his Discord channel and the Batch Service community. Until next time, we'll see you guys soon.